from the Richmond Times-Dispatch from the year 2006. Here's another short segment from a bowling column without any formal title. It just says, Changing History. An Arlington writer doing research for a book on early baseball history found a newspaper reference that disproves the long-accepted Baltimore origin of duckpins in the early 1900s, according to a recent report in the Baltimore Jewish Times. Howard Rosenberg discovered the reference to duckpins in an issue of the Lowell, Massachusetts Sun of 1894, which predates by 9 years what had been believed to be the invention of the game by baseball legend John McGraw and Wilbert Robinson at Diamond Alley's, a Baltimore house the two owned. McGraw and Robinson were duck hunters, and they said the small pins flew like ducks when hit. McGraw is featured in Rosenberg's book, and he came across the Lowell article toward the end of his research. Rosenberg was unable to conclude where duckpins began, but noted that Robinson was born in Bolton, Massachusetts, and might have seen the game there and brought it to Baltimore. Duckpins has been in Richmond since the formation of the National Duckpin Bowling Congress in 1927. The game dominated the city bowling scene until the arrival of 10 pins in the late 1950s. Plaza Bowl is the area's only duckpins house. Just to add a footnote to the article and the references made to the year 1894, when I did the research for my book, I came across the same information that Rosenberg did, except there was a lot more to it than he pursued. But he was mostly focused on the baseball aspect. But he mostly just scratched the surface. By the time 1894 had rolled around, duckpins had been mentioned in not only Massachusetts newspapers but also Kansas newspapers. But there's a lot more to the history of the game prior to that decade of the 1890s. So it's interesting reading if you ever get a chance to pick up a copy of the book, more than just the game. So I'm just plugging my own product at this time, but still it's a very interesting story behind the overall game of bowling.